Welcome to Tunacheki and a special welcome to the African History series where we take a look at the great men and women who paved the path for us today. In today's video, we'll be looking at one of the most influential women in East African history. We look at Mekatilili wa Menza. Before we continue, please take the time to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Mekatilili was born in the early 1890s in the coastal region of Kenya in Kilifi County and lived through a time of great change and upheaval in the region. She was the only daughter in a family of 5 children and her birth name was Mnyanzi wa Menza. Mekatilili was married, had a son Katilili, but later she was widowed. Mekatilili came across a prophecy about the coming of strange people who had hair like sisal fibers and moved in flying vessels. She was told that the coming of these strangers would begin the erosion of the Giriama cultural traditions, and true to the prophecy, it happened when the Imperial British East African Company, IBEA, started building the railway. In 1896, the British East Africa Protectorate established the colonial organization of the territory, marked by the construction of a railroad connecting the part of Mombasa to Lake Victoria. This led to a long process of pillage and exploitation and subjection of the people. In the late 19th century, there was little contact between the people and colonizers. However, in 1913, the British administrator, Arthur Champion, assigned headmen and councils to preside over 28 established territories in that area, including the Giriama villages, and turned them into communities dedicated to colonial interests. In August 13, 1913, the Giriama people held one of their most famous acts of rebellion. During a meeting with Arthur Champion, the colonizer who was trying to diminish local resistance and recruit youth to fight in World War I, the leaders walked into the venue with chicken and chicks. They challenged Champion to get chicks from its mother hen, but it pecked at his hand and he could not. The leaders then said the same would happen to him if he tried to take their children away from the people. When World War I broke out, most of Africa was under the colonizing rule of the European countries that were waging it. The continent was a source of raw materials and exploitation of labor that fed these imperialist powers. In response to the rebellious action of the Giriama people, members of the IBEA delegation opened fire, killing people and destroying houses in the community. Mekatilili and another leader, Wanje wa Mwadorikola, protested against them and were sent to Kisii near Lake Victoria, where they were held in prison. After 6 months in prison, on January 14, 1914, Mekatilili and Wanje walked free and trekked more than 700 kilometers back to Kilifi County in Kenya. The return of Mekatilili and Wanje led the colonialists to retaliate, shooting dozens of men, women, and children, capturing their animals, burning food stocks and the village homes. Mekatilili was arrested again on August 16, 1914. This time she was sent to Kismayu in Somalia. Mekatilili was a fearless warrior for her people. She stood up against the oppressive colonial government and fought for the right and freedom of her fellow Kenyans. Her powerful speeches and demonstrations inspired a movement, and she quickly became a symbol of resistance and hope for those fighting for independence. Another fascinating fact about Mekatilili is that she was also a skilled negotiator and mediator. During a time of great tension between different communities in Kenya, she worked tirelessly to bring people together and find peaceful solutions to their conflict. In 1919, Mekatilili was released from prison and was able to return home, taking on a role of leadership in the Women's Council. Mekatilili wa Menza died in 1924 and was buried in the Dakacha woodland. Every year, a festival named after her pays tribute to her. What are your thoughts about today's video and about today's hero? Let us know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell. Be sure to watch our other videos which celebrate our Mama Africa. We have the Mysteries of Africa series and the Amazing People of Africa series. It's been me, Linda from Tuna Travel. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel. Until the next video, stay safe and remember, Africa is watching.